We're made to believe pain-free hair removal involves more blades for a closer shave, but more blades means more waste and more contribution to landfill. So consider a safety razor instead. Zero waste, pain-free, gender stereotype-free, inexpensive and easy to use, and better still, you can recycle your used razor blades at your local recycling facility. So there you have it, your zero waste alternative.
Hey, I'm Danny De Silvers, the founder of Leafeco.co.uk, and I help zero waste beginners achieve their goals. So I want to tell you how easy it is to actually shave with your safety razor. I've been using a safety razor for about 5 months now. No problems. I managed to purchase it for around about £15 off Amazon. These are the last disposable razors that I'm ever going to buy in my entire life. So if you are going to be using a disposable razor before you pick up a safety razor, I'll give you a couple of ideas of how you can actually reuse the razors instead of throwing them away to landfill. As a disclaimer and a word of warning, I am actually going to shave my leg hair. So you are going to see my awesome legs. Inside the safety razor box, you get this really cool little carry case. You've got a little travel mirror, which would be cool if you're going away, and then you've got the safety razor itself. So inside the Astra Superior Platinum double-edged razor blades, you get 20 cartons of these. And inside every single carton is 5 more blades, look like that. So you literally open it up, and they're all protected by these kind of waxy coated paper. And that's what your razor blade looks like. So that little hole in the middle is where the thread of the handle threads through, and they're very sharp, so be very careful. When you're handling the razor, make sure you're grabbing it from these 2 edges, just like that.
These curved sections on both sides of the razor is the safety guard. By pushing on my skin at a horizontal angle, I'm not actually slicing into my skin, quite obviously. The razor blade is hidden behind the guard, so just in front of my finger is where the razor blade sits on both sides.
Get into the habit of every time you're handling the actual razor to change the blades, is hold it like this, just so you aren't going to get any cuts on your hands. So turn it upside down, grab it gently at the end, and then you want to twist the handle. Nice and simply, just like that. Now it'll twist off, and you're left with this here. What you do is take off that safety barrier, and then you have your razor, and again handle it at the edges so you're not actually touching the sharp section of the blade. And there you go. Every time you use your razor, you want to keep it dry after you've used it, just to prevent any rusting from happening. Now I clean mine with some rubbing alcohol. Really cheap to pick up. I know it's in a plastic bottle, but it can be recycled, or you can use straight, high, good quality vodka, which will also do the same thing. So to clean the razor blade, gently wipe everywhere. So this just removes off any soap, scum, any hair that hasn't been removed, and also displaces the water just to stop that rusting from happening. Plant that on top and then give that a rub. So be careful not to actually touch the razor edges. So make sure you take the full razor apart every time you've used it, because you'll be surprised at where all the soap gunk kind of stays. It can get caught in between the safety barrier up here, so make sure you give it a good clean, and also clean the handle as well. If you're still using disposable razors before you make the purchase of a safety razor, you can also do the exact same thing. So dipping the edge of the razor in alcohol, so rubbing alcohol or even some good quality vodka just to get rid of all the water. Edge of the razor, you want to grab your razor blade again at the corners like this, place that on the threads, then grab the top safety bar of the razor. So you want to make it look like a U shape, okay, so it always curves up, the lips do. Place that on top, so try and make sure everything's level, and then you want to grab the handle, gently place it on and twist. So I'm just holding my thumb in place just to secure all the sections of the razor blade and the barrier and top cap, otherwise the razor blade can kind of be all skew with. Make sure it's completely dry before you store it away. And a top tip to make this last and make the razor blades last as well is keep this away from any unnecessary water. I'm going to start prepping the skin. My pores are nice and open because it's pretty warm in here from the shower that I had previously. We're going to start by just exfoliating the skin. Avoid 110% anything that contains microbeads. What I do, which is nice and reusable, is I just use an exfoliating mitt. So you can pick these up from most supermarket places. Wash it how you would your normal clothing and towels. When we've exfoliated the skin, you want to treat it and make sure that the skin is as frictionless as possible. Lotion or a cream or a balm or a soap stick to put onto the skin, which makes the razor kind of glide over the skin nice and easily. I've used coconut oil to shave my legs with, really awesome stuff. You can see where you're shaving, you can see the hair underneath. This is not a sustainable option. I live in the UK, this was a gift, so I'm still trying to use it up. Or, which is what I'm doing right at the moment, is using some hair conditioner, which I'm trying to get to the end of because I've got loads of it left. Smear some hair conditioner on my skin. So it's going to keep my skin nice and smooth, lock in the moisture, soften the hair a little bit because that's what conditioner does. And it just makes the process super easy, super cheap and super quick. Remember guys, this is when it's going to start to get a little bit more real and gross and realistic with women's body hair. Stay tuned.
Before you start rubbing your skin with an exfoliating mitt or exfoliating creams and lotions, make sure you have wet skin, warm skin as well. Otherwise it's going to hurt, lead to cracks and bleeding and irritation. We want to avoid that. So rub off all the dead skin. Wherever you're going to be shaving, make sure you cover that surface and rinse off any excess skin as well. So I'm using hot water. It keeps the blade warm and just makes the shaving process a lot easier. About a tablespoon worth of hair lotion or hair conditioner being smothered on my legs here. Whatever you use, just make sure you build up a good lather by rubbing circles around on the skin where you'll be shaving. So completely cover the skin and make sure the hair's covered, and then slide the soap down in the direction of the hair growth to push the hair into place. And then we get on with the shaving. So the trick is, if you shave at a 30-degree angle from your skin, you will never cut yourself. Be careful when you're going around ankles and knees. As long as you keep the skin taut, you won't have any problems at all. So I'm just dipping the razor in this warm water bowl just to take off the excess gunk and soap and hair and all that lovely stuff. And also you can flip the razor over to use the other side of the blade just to make the process a bit quicker as well. So be very, very careful. You don't have to apply any pressure at all because the razor is weighted perfectly enough for you to simply just glide the razor over the skin. Repeat the same for the other leg, again making that nice luscious lather with my hair conditioner. A couple of tips for when you need to know when to replace the blade is two things. The first thing is, if you notice you're shaving the same area 5 or 6 times, then that means you need to replace the blade. And the second is, if you feel a slight tugging on the hair, or even you are starting to cut your skin or the blade's going rusty, then change the blade and then just pop a new one in, nice and simple. Try not to shave over any scars, any cuts, any raised skin, because you don't want to make any unnecessary trips to the hospital. And apart from this, it's super easy to shave with. I know I was petrified when I first started, but it is so easy. It's just ridiculous how easy it is. So rinse off all the soap and the hair with warm water, and then you want to use a cold water rinse just to close the pores. And here I am just smothering coconut oil into my skin to make sure I keep them nice and smooth, because shaving does remove any oils that our skin makes.
So to make sure we're fully zero waste, there's 2 ways you can get rid of the actual razor blades. My simplest way is to recycle them. So grab yourself a tin can. This was just a can of baked beans. I've washed it out completely. There's no water inside it. It's fully dry. 2 ways you can do this. You make an incision inside the tin can lid, just large enough so you can slot one of the razor blades in. Then you would tape the top of the tin can onto the tin, make sure it's taped really, really well, and then every time you have a used razor blade that you no longer need to use, pop it inside this tin, and then when the tin's full up, you would tape over the top, hand it over to your recycling facility with a quick label on the side which says, no, don't manhandle it or you could die. No, I'm joking. So the second way of using this tin can method is just even easier. This is what I do. Wherever I store my razor, I want to keep the tin can next to it. Fill this up with razor blades, and then I'm just going to tape that on like that, and then again hand it over to the recycling guys, and then they can reuse it. So inside here is just salt water and a razor blade. I'm just encouraging the aluminium to corrode by adding salt water, because eventually it will corrode down in the soil, so you could add this to your compost bin. However, after a bit of research, there's no guarantee that this will corrode quickly in the soil. If you do end up getting a safety razor, try to prevent from throwing away your disposable razors and see if you can use them for anything. There's a couple of people on the internet who are truly awesome that have made a razor stand, and I'll post some pictures. If you grab a woolen jumper, which has got a bobbly or whatever fabric that you have, you can actually shave off the bobbles. And for anyone out there who wants to know, yes, you can use a safety razor from head to toe if you wanted to. Obviously, be a bit more cautious when it gets to the nether regions. Take your time wherever you're going. The one thing to remember, a normal disposable razor bends its head around the contours of your body. One of these bad boys doesn't, so you've got to put the work in. So as long as you're at a 30-degree angle every time you're shaving, you'll be perfect, you'll have no issues, and you'll be fuzz-free and you'll feel awesome. As long as you keep this clean, gunk-free, soap scum-free, there'll be no problems with it, and you should never have to replace it. That is everything that you need to know to be zero waste with your hair removal methods, and also awesome as well. So give this a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. I have so many more zero waste videos coming your way in 2017. If you want to purchase this exact razor brand with the blades that I use, I'll post a link up in the bottom in the comments bar. No, the description bar. I'm a bit of an Instagram addict as well. So if you hop over to Instagram and type in Leafeco into the toolbar at the top, you will find me and all my tips and tricks that I share daily to become an awesome zero waster. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe, bye bye. This is the most uncomfortable position I've ever been in, and I live alone as well, so I might have to scream for my neighbour. I have a lot of animal blah blah blah.